What's up, guys? It's Wally, and today we're going to be doing some battles with the rental team featuring a Rapid Strike Urshifu with protected pads. Now, if you guys are like me and using Rapid Strike Urshifu, I'm sure you guys have definitely run into a lot of Pokemon with Rocky Helmet on them. And especially Pokemon like Amoonguss that do end up resisting a lot of the moves that Urshifu has. It is kind of a pain, but of course there are ways to kind of ignore that with protective pads as well as Punching Glove. I know some people are running Punching Glove, however the downside to Punching Glove is the fact that you don't get the benefit of the Unseen Fist if a Pokemon does Protect. So you're not going to be able to hit through the Protect with the Punching Glove. However, with the protective pads, despite the fact that you don't get the boost up in power, you do end up being able to still hit through the Protect. And of course, that's one of the biggest benefits of Urshifu, and you really don't want to lose that. So I feel like protective pads really are the best of both worlds, and really an item that would be really great on Urshifu if you are running into a lot of Pokemon with Rocky Helmet. Now, this Urshifu is a Steel Terra and does have Surging Strikes, Close Combat, which are typical stab moves, and of course the Iron Head as well, which is one if we do end up terastallizing. So again, these protective pads are going to save us from that Rocky Helmet, but again, allow us to hit through that Protect. So I'm really excited to use this team, especially one with Chien-Pao and Dragonite as well, only because I'm just a really big fan of both of them. And of course, Dragonite has always been my favorite Pokemon, so any team that has Dragonite, I am super happy with. So we'll get into the battles, but before we do, as always, if you guys are new here, just haven't yet, please make sure to go down and hit the subscribe button. If you guys do enjoy the video, please make sure to drop a like too. Let's get into the battles. I wanted to point out two things before we actually get into this battle. First of all, I did get this rental team from our buddy Lycan, so of course, Lycan, thanks for letting me use the team. And second of all, I think I said one thing about Punching Glove, but that really only works, of course, on the punching moves, the attack up and everything. So really, the Punching Glove only really helps for the punching moves as opposed to like all the moves, whereas Protective Pads actually keeps you safe from the Rocky Helmet no matter what. So that's the other good thing about Protective Pads as well. So just wanted to point that out, of course. But in this one, I think what we're going to do, we're going to keep Urshifu in the back. But we're going to start with Tornadus. And honestly, I'm going to go with Kleavor as well. I know that sounds a little strange, but we're going to do it anyways. And then, of course, we're going to have Urshifu. And because I believe Pao does have Sacred Sword on it, we'll bring that just for the... well, for multiple matchups, but especially for King Gambit, especially if Urshifu's gone, you know? So at least we have two Pokemon just in case we end up losing one of them, because for some reason that always seems to be one of my worries. Alright, this is okay. This is okay. We do have... now, let's set up Tailwind because we do have Covert Cloak on it. Again, because I know we have to worry about a fake out here. Oh, I hate to do it, but I'm going to protect on the first turn with Kleavor, just so we don't get faked out. Because if we end up getting faked out, they didn't even go for a fake out. Okay. Well, that's a little upsetting then. Ah, they were going to go for the Aqua Jet, though. That's fair. I understand that. Yeah, that Thunderbolt should knock out. Well, excuse me, my bad. Honestly, a Rain Dance would be so nice right now, but we can't. Just can't help Bascullegion, Legion, you know what I mean? So we're going to go for an Icy Wind, and let's go for the Stone Axe. Probably into Bascullegion, Legion, to be honest with you. Yeah, they're going to try to knock out Kleavor before anything. That makes sense. That's unfortunate, but... it's not going to help with the priority, but still. But the good thing about that is... I don't know. Let's go Urshifu here, though. I think we might have to Terastallize into Steel, though. Just to take away... But if they do end up having... Yeah, if they end up having Iron Moth in the back, that's going to be a little scary, but let's not worry about that. Let's go for the Bleak Wind, and then let's Terrastalize and go for the Surging Strikes over into Raichu. Again, I would love to put the Rain Dance up, but I think this is going to be strong enough to knock out anyways. And even so, we can't do anything to help Basculegion here. That would be pretty bad. Aqua Jets, yep. May as well knock him out. It's fair enough. But priority moves are just so incredible, you know what I mean? Again, that's why D-Knight and Power are so great together. And being able to get the extreme speed and have it hit extra hard, you know? May as well. Hit 2 times. Alright, let's go, Pao. Now, we have the speed, so we could actually go for the Sucker Punch and still outspeed. Gambit's going to be a little scary, not going to lie. That's probably going to be their Terra, let's be completely honest, though. They have a couple options for that. Let's do that, though, and let's go for... Because I know a lot of Gambits used to be flying. However, I know, especially recently, a lot of them have been dark as well. I'm going to go for the close combat and chance it. One of them is Terrastalizing. So do you take away the dark weakness, or do you take away what I thought? You're going to be flying? Okay, I'll say the good thing about this. The good thing about this is the fact that we're not going to get the defense and special defense drop. Let's go. We take out Basculegion. We're not going to get the defense or special defense drop from the close combat, so that's one positive here. Smart. I wasn't expecting that, to be completely honest with you. Wow. Wasn't expecting that either, to be honest. Alright, this is fine, though. Who is up? It's Dragonite. Okay. Now, we don't have priority, unfortunately, but... I'm going to go Ice Spinner into D-Knight, and then I'm going to Detect on this first one. Yeah, that's understandable. We get the Ice Spinner, though. This should KO. Nice. Pao's just really kind of taking this over here. But then again, I wasn't expecting Brick Break Gambit, though. That's perfect. Be honest with you, though, I think a Sucker Punch from them would actually do enough here. So let's go Sucker Punch. And let's go Surging Strikes. Almost enough. Yeah. See, again, that was the right call from the get-go for them. That's what I would have expected on that last turn, but... hey, that's okay. Not a great game to showcase Urshifu, but at the same time, though, hey, we get a chance for Pao to just really kind of dominate here. Not bad. Hey, but you know what, though? I will say this. The threat of having Urshifu out there and having to take care of them allows Chien-Pao to really kind of go unchecked right there and allow it to pick up a lot of KOs. So, you know what? Again, Urshifu didn't do a lot offensively there, but still kind of took a lot of focus away from the other Pokemon. So still, good game. All right, looks like we got a nice little Tailwind team going here. So, I think what we're going to do is actually start with the same thing. Actually, although, actually, yeah, you know what? We're going to go with that same team. We're going to go with the same exact thing. Hopefully this time we can actually go with the Stone Axe. Or if they end up starting with Rillaboom, we can go with that X-Scissor to try to knock it out in one. If it's one of the Flying Mons, we could always end up going with that Stone Axe to be able to set all the stuff. And then having our two strongest Mons kind of, you know, be our anchors here, I think is going to be really, really good. So, fingers crossed here. I think, especially if we end up seeing like a Rillaboom lead or something like that, going with like that X-Scissor or something I think is going to be really, really strong. But then again, at the same time, it might actually be like, I don't know, Tornadus to set the Tailwind, and maybe, yeah, there's Zapdos too. Okay, well at least that's going to be a Stone Axe play then. So let's go with our Tailwind, and let's Stone Axe Zapdos here. I feel like that's going to be one of our biggest threats, especially to Urshifu, obviously. I mean, if we do Terrastallize, we don't have to worry about two super effective moves. It's just going to be one neutral and one resisted. Good damage, and there's a Rocky Helmet. Okay, that's actually good to know. So that means, I mean, granted, we didn't really have to worry about that regardless, but ooh, good damage there. But still, and it's also really nice to know that we outspeed Zapdos too. Honestly, I think Pao has to be the play here. Let's see. Okay, so there are two Pokemon that if we go Ice Spinner, that's going to do not much over into that slot. But two Pokemon that would really get wrecked by it too. So I would imagine that they're either going to bring out Urshi here. They're either going to bring Urshi or Heatran, or they're just going to let Tornadus get the Ice Spinner. Problem with Stone Axe is the 90% accuracy. We're going to knock out Zapdos anyway, so let's just go with that. Okay, yeah. Perfect. That's one of the ones that would get destroyed by it, so that's awesome. Especially since they get hurt by that. Going to be speed or special attack? Yeah, okay. I see you. Okay, double switch out. Okay, there's Heatran. Okay, I'm glad that we chose the slots that we did. I really wish I would have went for a close combat. Goodbye, Flutter. But that's okay. That pretty much means that we're going to be fine with Urshi here. I think we're going to have to protect with Heatran here. Tornadus takes a little bit of damage, of course. Thank you. It's a good thing about the Stone Axe. How much longer do we all have Tailwind? We each have it for 2 more turns. Okay, here's what we're going to do to kind of cover ourselves here. We're going to go for a Sacred Sword as well as an X-Scissor. That way, if they Terrastallize into grass, the X-Scissor will be super effective, whereas if they stay with what they have, the Sacred Sword is going to be super effective. Perfect. Now the X-Scissor ain't going to do much into Tornadus, but that's okay. Ooh. Ain't going to do much to either, though. Nice. Now all we have to do is deal with Tornadus and Zapdos. Now they may end up backing out of this battle. Well, never mind. It's just going to be Tornadus. Man, maybe I should have talked about Kleavor again. Urshifu, again, just the threat of having you out there. because I want to use Urshifu. Oh, they're still going to go. Awesome. Love this. Good. We get a chance to kind of close it out with Urshifu then. Again, I just want to be able to get Urshifu in the game. Question is, does it actually get knocked out to a Bleak Wind Storm here? Alright, not the best showing for Urshifu. Then again, I swapped it into a Bleak Wind Storm, so what do I expect, right? Oh well. At this point, again, it really doesn't matter too much because we can just go Ice Spinner as well as a Stone Axe and just kind of close it out that way. So we're good to go. Dang it. I wanted Urshifu to get a little bit of play there, but that's okay though. Still, ended up being a nice little win there. Again, not much about Urshifu there. We did see a Rocky Helmet, so if we did end up going out against Zapdos, we probably would have ended up terastallizing into Steel. But then if we ended up wanting to go for... wow, at that point, we actually didn't have anything that would have been... I guess the Surging Strikes would have been the strongest move over into Zapdos. So we could have done that. We could have gotten all 3 hits and not taken any damage from the Rocky Helmet. Either way, Kleavor and Pao just kind of taking the lead there. Really good game. This literally looks like my all types team. I mean, I would doubt that it actually, obviously, that it actually is, and I would doubt that they would have the same Terra types. But those are all the exact same Pokemon, which honestly is kind of funny. But that's okay. We kind of know what to do against Brambleghast, and we know what not to do against Brambleghast as well. So, okay, what we're going to do then... Yeah, that makes that a little tough, but I think we're going to have to actually go with Pao then. So let's start Tornadus and Pao, and then we'll have Urshi. Actually, no. Here's what we're going to do. Because they're probably going to end up starting with Talonflame and them. So let's start those two, and then we'll have Urshi, and... Honestly, I'm going to have Dragonite in the back as well. Let's give that team a shot. We're not going to set Tailwind. But hopefully we can get a couple other things that are really going to help us. Because again, speed control is extremely, extremely important in these games. Okay, well that's not the Pokemon I was hoping to see. What is okay though is the fact that okay, they're probably going to go Poison though, aren't they? Either way, let's go Sacred Sword over there, and I'm going to go Stone Axe up into Talonflame. Totally makes sense. Now, question is, are they going to go Will-O-Wisp, though? Nope, they're going to go Tailwind. That totally makes sense. Unfortunately, we don't get that, but the Stone Axe, assuming it hits... Thank you. It's super effective. It's a 4x effective move, which is really awesome. Plus, we get to set the Stealth Rocks for whatever Pokemon comes out next. I know we kind of discussed this in the last battle too, but again, just want to throw it back out there. Oh, hi Urshifu. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Why do I expect Urshifu to... No, because it might be Excalibur to terastallize. And we can't protect because of Urshi. Still gonna do that. Let's double over there. I'm guessing it's gonna be Urshifu. Or I thought it was Excalibur at first, but no, I guess it's gonna be Urshi. Okay, then we actually, the double fighting is actually perfect then. Assuming we can get a move off here with one of them, that is the perfect thing that we went with. Pao actually survives this. Pao survives this. Let's go. My goodness, you'll love to see that. Holy cow. Don't be loaded dice. Don't be loaded dice. Don't be loaded dice. Don't be loaded dice. You're loaded dice. Okay, that's okay, but at least we get the... Holy cow, they actually do have the same Terra that that I do on mine. Okay, that's cool, actually. That's cool. It's good damage into backs, though. I will say that. Let's go into Urshifu on this one. I actually have faith in this. I think we can go for the close combat over into that one. I am going to go for a Sucker Punch into backs. Yeah. And we'll go for the close combat over into Urshi. As long as backs doesn't protect, I think we end up knocking it out. Because if Sacred Sword as a non-stab... Okay, well, I lied because we end up getting knocked out first, so never mind. My bad. Glad we didn't go for a Sucker Punch over there. Blade Rush, we should survive it. We do. Close combat. Goodbye, Urshi. I will say the downside here is the fact that we don't have... that we don't have a priority in Aqua Jet. Which is a little unfortunate, but we do have... Ooh, Glimmora! Was not expecting that, to be honest with you. I'm super happy to see that, though. That's actually a team that I usually go out with, too. That's really cool. I appreciate that. It's really nice to see someone else kind of using, like, a similar team to what I use. That's cool. So we got a Tailwind here. We don't have Terra. Or we do have Terra. We don't have Protect. Pardon me. So let's do that. Let's go Stomping Tantrum over... Actually, no. We're going to go Extreme Speed over into Excalibur. And we're going to Detect with Urshifu. Again, this will save us from two super effective moves here in Ice and in Rock. So that'll kind of allow us to be alright here. The Extreme Speed will end up going first, and if they don't protect with backs, I think it should end up taking it out. Yeah. So we should take them out. Yeah. Cool. We didn't need the crit. I think we were going to take them out anyways. But now Glimmora is going to go for a Rock? Power Gem, yeah. Pardon me. Power Gem. Power Gem. Oh, yeah. We're good. We're good. We still would have been good, too, especially because of the multi-scale. And in fact, now that I think about it, that might have actually been smart to be able to get that that weakness policy. But no, that would have been a little rough. So, we're going to go Stomping Tantrum. And let's go Surging Strikes down there. Let's try to call it a day. There we go. Yeah. And again, the reason why we ended up detecting on that last one is so that their Tailwind would end up running out. Just so we would have the speed over Glimmora to be able to knock it out. I think with the Surging Strikes. If not, then with the Stomping Tantrum. Right? Okay, yeah. It's going to have to be the Stomping Tantrum because they have a Pinchberry? No, just a Citrus. Okay. That's fine. That's good right there. And then the Stomping Tantrum should end up doing it. Ooh, but the Sludge Bomb will take out Urshi. Fair enough. But Stomping Tantrum, baby. And we say goodbye to Glimmora. Let's go. Good game on that one. Again, like what I was saying in the beginning, speed control is extremely important. But having Pokemon that have like priority moves like Extreme Speed kind of cheats that. So it's nice to kind of have that in the back pocket if you don't end up bringing a Tailwind Mon or any kind of speed control Mon. So there we go. We had a really good game on that one. I'm glad Urshifu actually got some battle in there. So really good game. So again, like I said, the protective pads on Urshifu is actually extremely beneficial. Because again, with the Punching Glove, you're not going to be able to get that benefit from Unseen Fist, especially with like the Surging Strikes or the Wicked Blow, if you have it on the Single Strike Urshifu. However, with Protected Pads, you are able to hit through the Protects, as well as make it so that you do ignore the Rocky Helmet. Saw a couple Pokemon out there that had Rocky Helmet, and some ones that I wasn't expecting to have the Rocky Helmet. So, again, having Protected Pads, especially when you don't know who's going to have that item on them, is extremely beneficial to make it so that you don't take that unwanted damage. And again, we didn't see any Amoonguss out there, surprisingly enough, but Amoonguss is a Pokemon that is running a lot of Rocky Helmet right now, and since it does resist the Surging Strikes as well as Close Combat, Drain Punch, and things like that, they are going with something like Rage Powder to make it so that Urshifu does take that big damage from the Rocky Helmet each time it goes into it. So, again, Protected Pads is a really incredible item to have on it. Again, if you really want to beef up the power from the Surging Strikes and you don't mind not being able to hit through the Protect, and you do kind of want to play it a little more fair like that, then definitely go for the Punching Glove. It's definitely a great item. Definitely not saying that it's not a good one. Definitely a good one to have. But the Protected Pads, especially with all the Rocky Helmets out there, and the desire to still hit through Protect, which I think is one of the main selling features of Urshifu, I think that's why Protected Pads might be a little bit better. So, again, if you guys are sick of the Rocky Helmet but still want the benefit of the Unseen Fist, definitely go for the Protected Pads over the Punching Glove. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like. We'll see you guys next time.